We did it. Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Good evening, Dukula.
Okay, good. Okay, so now today we'll do this the treasury of blessing, the practice of Buddha Shakyamuni. So page number 1. Omoy Naze Namda Ranjen Lendu Betaji Choju Jina Shubai Sanje Chedan Genden Babit Kunlai Chanza Daja Taji Jo Deme Jalbo Salden Dendro Jambe Jemba Jeda Padamba Kunlai Gomba Jachere Taba Chen Pembo Tarba Salra Padam Senjen Danje Lagon Rabi Bali Zem Zeba Salra Draba Den Senzam Debe Tashi Pat Devara Shipa Jela Chanzalo Jambal Shino Palden Dorje Chende Siwa Gombo Chambe Basai Nimbo Tiba Number Nange Nimbo Bajo Kondo Za Ubal Dorje Pekara Loshinda Norbo Dawara Nima Chonzen Lena Dashi Palji Cho Chanjo Semba Jala Chanzalo Rinjen Dojo Tashi Serjenya Dejombo Amala Nyenda Dondon Penzo Babe Mino Jansen Wanjur Kolo De Rinjen Dojo Chanzen Jen Chode Jawa Chujen Jeje Ma Gizo Ngo Chembe Pabe Tashi Lamo Jela Chanza Somba Jembo De Jon Semembo Midon Denda Jabo Yoko Zon Pajembo Da Loa Meme Namde Zede Laze Kurlo Don Tishu La Don Dorje Jen Pinwa Rade Chadenja Sazum Nezo Jiden Jungwa Jela Chanza Doja Dendre Shawa Zambala Gigdanye Wansewa Kanshine Dedem Babe Samde Yeshe Taji Dele Benzo Sombareshu. Repeat 2 more times, the last 4 lines. Daja Dendre Shawa Zambala Gigdanye Wansewa Kanshine Dedem Bambe Samde Yijin Tashi Dele Benson Sobareshu Taja Dendre Chawa Tamba Yiganye Wansewa Kunshin Dedem Bambe Samde Yijin Tashi Dele Benson Sobareshu Ojin Yujin Nojanza Pema Gezen Dombola Yanzen Chubi Meduni Pema Jone Jezunda Pordo Kondo Mombe Kor Chijin Jezunda Duji Shinji Lobje Shezu So Guru Pema Sinde Ho yulje nobja Sam Bema Gezer Dombola Yanzen Chogi Mendunye Bema June Shezuda Kordo Kandu Mombe Kor Chejen Jezunda Jukje Shenje Lak So Guru Bema Sende Ho Je Yuje No Janta Bema Engezar Dombola Yanzen Choki Medunye Bema Enjone Shezoda Kordo Kandro Mambe Gor Cheje Jesu Ndai Choki Chinje La Chir Shezu So Guru Pema Sende Hoi Tagen Tuje Shaje Rezo Shenje Mentun Dije Ponjomba Serje Lembo Tabur Jibe Shaji Jalbo Chela Chanzalo Kange Tambo Chanjo Tuje Tsenam Yeshe Tsonin Zoze Teder Deba Jajen Doa Gunjur Chelan Dagi Tebaji Lanan Denze Dove Tijen Kale Pone Lonjen Tarji Rila Sine Lamon Juntu Che Lomzo Shupar Chanzalo Dawan Chaji Sebone Tashi Lombi Tsaldo Tambi Tse Tsandan Jajin Jidu Tsenjone Chanju Risu Nge Chanzalo Shenon Dode Me Sengende Aga Magadane Jeza Shivu Tiba Chenam Sarjene Denda Me Paranzala Chanzal Yiden Chedan Tembra Shawa Bakana Manto Panchir Tsumoy Kordan Denze Tavla Kebaye Jazi Chonwar Tela Chanza Korve Chawa Nimbo Mezine Chimne Chonde Kala Shine Chuden Namda Chondo Nile Nye Radu Chonwar Tela Chanza Tumbe Chanju Druba Gone Nyaran Tane Damdu Lotu Kawa Chinze Tendri Tajimbe Samden Chonye Zela Chanza Toma Menem Deba Tunye Shirmanga Daye Chanju Shindun Chidro Miyo Ngambara Sanje Ne Chanju Zubra Zela Chanza Ujendrola Nyurdo Sinene Varanasi Laso Necho Chuji Korlo Korne Duljanam Tipa Sumla Kete Chanta Goa Nyemba Tarje Chir Mudi Temba Tuta Lejen Kurmun Jige Yudu Denamdo Tuba Yule Jala Chanta Lo Seba Peme Yendenji Nyendo Yepara Chundro Chepo Tamin Doa Kunje Raja Batemba Yepara Zela Changalo Lelo Chen Chola Kuje Tanjo Drongi Sashi Tama Chimen Durje Tabi Kushine Nyangen Dora Zela Changalo Yanda Nyendo Jipa Meje Mao Semje Sanam Tokje Penye Dune Rinse Mandrune Kodon Chaje Zela Chanza Elo Konze Kanye Tso Chetam Sachen de la Gomba Dembon Mani Jiden Dina Choje Son Deze Keba Chala Chanza Ambo Gaden Lae Yulmen Jen Jabe Kalto Yunje Lumtu Lumbi Niye Taldo Toba Dan Chamden Lae Lala Changa Chaye Kandu Mama Jeshi Ju Shaji Chondu Shune Rose Serje Nezo Sanzo Kadu She Sesum Some Kola Chanzal Tonje Goshi Gyowe Tsudene Chuden Namda Chodo Utas Neran Zani Jamdu Kadu Ze Jimye Shandan Dala Chanzalo Jabe Nyambandu Yamba Chindu Chivi Tanze Mangan Daru Tuba Mazanji Chimbi Yeshi Barla Chankalo Varanasi Chuji Kurlo Zidi Saldu Chondru Chimbo Sancho Chondo Gomba Nyangende Tune Nankan Dala Chankalo Titara Tembe Chumdenji Zebi Tsolan Dozam Tebai Kewe Towa Kunji Chebai Deji Niji Zedan Sombar Shuin Tanji Chimbala Chanzo Loin Didar Sanji Chumden De Dejin Ship Dajumba Yanda Bara Zobi Sanje Riba Dan Shazu Demba Devara Ship Jiden Chemba Shebun Dulwe Kalon Jirwa Lana Me Padan Menam Jitemba Sanje Chumden De Te Dejin Sheba Dene Sonam Dak Jutumba Gewe Zawa Nam Chimizawa Sebe Rabdu Jemba Sunamji Tenamji Shi Peje Sambo Namji Tep Senamji Medo Jeba Shayul Rembara Tumba Tona Mitinba Me Tebe Meba Namla Ngambara Gawa Shera Silji Minem Tom Namla Zewa Meba Simjin Tamji Ji Temba Chanchu Semba Nam Ya Pabe Kansa Namji Jalbo Nyangen Len Debe Tonjeret Doa Namji Deben Yeshe Pado Me Boba Mechaba Sonambara Taba Yangenba Kuje Tawe Chomisheba Kutsomba Me Magba Sudage Nyevara Magba Sumeba Dada Mande Dungalandale Nambarandova Pumbondale Ratu Nambaratu Kam Namda Midenba Kinshe Nam Tamba Diba Nam Shindu Chep Yonsu Dungandale Nambaratu Sebale Ndoa Chuole Gal Ishe Yonsun Zoba Deba Dan Majen Badan Tatara Shun Sanje Chumden De Namji Ishe La Nep Yangen Le Deba La Mineba Yanda Ba Niji Tala Nep Simjen Tamje La Sibi Sala Shubate Didane Sanje Chumden De Namji Kuchi Yende Yanda Ba So Tambi Chunin Tomarangyo Bardu Gewa Tamarangewa Ten Sambo Tidru Sam Mandeba Yonzu Zoba Yonzu Taba Yonzu Jong Chumden Deji Chulek Bara Sumba Yanda Bara Tongwa Neme Tucheba Meba Nyevara Teba Ditongwa La Tenyeba Keba Rangi Ribara Shawa, Chumden Deji Sumbi Chetulwa, Lekbara Temba, Gibara Shungwa, Zobi Chanchu Du, Dowara Ship, Mitenba Mejin, Diba Dan Demba, Temba Yup, Jua Cheba, Tepa Chimbe Gendin, Lekbara Shuba, Ribara Shuba, Tamburo Shuba, Timbara Shuba, Kalmo Jarve, Vezo Jirba, Chajavi, Vezo Jir, Sanam Je Palji Shin, Yonzo Jongwa Chempo, Jimbe Neso Jir, Kundoya, Jimbe Nes, Jirba Chembo, Tumbala me Sanje Rimbochi, Shobala me Tamje Rimbochi, Tembal. Yende Ramboje Shamne Kunju Song Shabambo. Jose Roja de Shen Tromba Lejara de Ninjawa Seje Tebe Puin Doan de Dage Den Zins Chubar Shu Sweet rice. Now we can offer this through the Zoom. Huh? I forgot to tell you yesterday. Otherwise, you can prepare a little bit sweet rice in your home. Let's go. Take off this. Okay, so now we do Bodhisattva vow ceremony as on a Sunday morning. How we doing? Page number 59. Just stay. Don't move.
Now we visualize all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in Sakururu, the Bhajan Master, in front of us in this space as object of refuge and to receive the Bodhisattva possibility through the 7 branches of offering with the prostration to purify our body, speech, mind, obscuration, and also to subdue our ego. Oba Jambe Shunu Yuba Chance. Sutta Chotrul Düchen Tusum Sheba Mi Senke Now we are making offerings of flowers, incense, and waters, and butter lamp, and all sorts of jewels, and so forth to all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas to accumulate enough merit to receive the Bodhisattva. Now we are confessing all the negativities, whatever we might have accumulated through our body, speech, mind, in front of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So we are rejoicing over the accumulations of merit kept accumulated by all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Arhat, and so forth, all other practitioners in front of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Choje Yawa Gundam Sangye Serangye Nanda Loka Smendo Yoa Gunje Sunam Nala So Taye. Now we are requesting all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Master to join the wheel of Dharma to purify all the obscuration and also as antidote for the ignorance. Online Choje Jite Jamada Chanjo Riva Sangye Macha Gumbo Jeta Agi Sangye Polo Lama Neva Now we are requesting all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Masters not to bother in Nirvana and remain firm in samsara to benefit all sentient beings. Now we are dedicating all the merit whatsoever we have accumulated through the 7 branches of offering and also in the past, present, and future to all sentient beings to be liberated and attain enlightenment. Now we are having the attention of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions and the Raja Master to witness to receive the Bodhisattva vow. Lama Lote Tiba Chimbo Mandawa Now we are going through the ceremony to receive the refuge as we take refuge in Buddha Dhamma Sangha until we take it until we receive enlightenment. Chanjo Yingu Chideva Sangye Namba Yasuchi Chila Chanjo Sembai Koan Dishin Yasuchi Chanjo Yingu Chideva Sangye Namba Yasuchi Chila Chanjo Sembai Koan Dishin Yasuchi Chanjo Yingu Chideva Sangye Namba Yasuchi Chila Chanjo Sembai Koan Dishin Yasuchi. Now we are going through the actual ceremony to receive the Bodhisattva vow as how in the past all the Buddhas and Bodhisattva, how they engage into the Bodhisattva practices and attain enlightenment. Similar like that, we are following to generate bodhicitta and then to engage into the sixth perfection practice to benefit all sentient beings. Now we are experiencing joy for oneself as one receives the Bodhisattva vow and enter into the noble family of Bodhisattvas, and also joy for all other sentient beings as we are taking responsibility to help them to attain enlightenment. Now we are accumulating the mantra of purification of moral conduct in front of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, the compassionate all of its Shara.
So now go to page 43, page number 43. Sanje Jadan Soje Chonam La Chanjo Pardo Dane Chabzo Che Dage Jinso Jib Sanam Je Dola Benjere Sanje Dobar Sho. Repeat two more times. Sanje Jadan Soje Chonam La Chanjo Pardo Dane Chabzo Dage Jinso Jibe Sanam Je Dola Benjere Sanje Ndubar Shu Sanje Chadan Soje Chonam La Chanju Patu Tan Chabzo Je Dage Jinzo Jibe Sanam Dola Penchir Sanje Ndubar Shu Sanje Tamje Dewa Deve Judan Dembar Jurji Dunga Dan Dunga Ji Judan Rawa Dunga Mebin Deva Tamba Dan Mindrawar Jurji Yeren Chadan Yidan Kanyum Seme Pala never jurchi oi chime tomba nedan tenjo no gome sonju jume zo ronde nangar chujin janzu rinjin senji penyen dawe den temba tsume shaja senge serje dojin sendan peje den chöge somso dorje chechon chaye sanen chaja legyan shin chaye nyamsha tutse longse serje re tarazje pabarwa Nyewe seje neden chudru so pazo chanzo porje yongkurosh chemba zanje sishe tanye nando ndewa choge pazo chagwen debe danye chembo soy ninje chembe tsaten yime sune melam chembo majar Pekara taranga sende chirmendo temba tuje chanza lo dajin gozon getzo lonje konzon chebe tendo minembo tome neza didom male ine geba chabe sozro sha padan sozo shewe gewa Yusum sala jesu yirango sajin jache chuji korlo chujuru junmin chebar kordo so chene nanka tabi yeshe Yusum ponjuru mebar shumen je dulje na kenji tsulten ja chubi sugo tado nawar ze tage yusum sabi getso Kajab doa kunla pemle do cheje jalbo tado nyeje cheje jawe go obar shu daja nyime doa gunme nam tujel shindan tudere rinje namsum nawa jinye cheje chinle nye teje japcho tsume chipo Iche tebe nine solden, nunje tamja chembo manye, sanju bardo tuje jezenze, lama temba chonde, ejin sheba da jumba yanda bara zobe san, paljawa shaja tubala chanzalo, chudo chanzu chi o repeat. Lama temba chumden de tejin shiba da jumba yanda bara tope san pajawa shaja tubala chanza lo chudo chazu chi wo lama temba chumden de tejin shiba da jumba yanda zobe sanje pajawa shaja tubala chanza Chudu chasu che o te da mane mane ma mane so 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 mane te da mane mane ma mane so te da mane mane ma mane so Edo mani mani mamane zode 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 edo Edo mani mani mamane zode edo mani mani mamane zode edo mani mani mamane zode Dedo mani mani mamane zo dedo mani mani mamane zo dedo mani mani dedo mani mani mamane zo dedo mani mani mamane zo dedo mani mani mamane zo dedo The money money mamma is what 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 the money money the money money mamma is what the money money mamma is what the money money the money money mamma is what the money money mamma is what the money money mamma is the money money mamma is what the money money mamma is the money money mamma is what 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 the money money mamma the money money mamma is what 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 the money money mamma the money money mamma is what the money the money money mamma is what 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 Dadan semje damje je jeba tamje sajen teba chembo lamje yende sujen do je chirme dobi san bai. So now we do mandala offering. So now all of you may do from your home prostration and offer flower or fruit whatsoever if you have the Shakyamuni Buddha's statue or tanka or image whatsoever. If not, then you can imagine you are offering here together with us. So we'll do this long mandala. Long mandala. And can you find? Yeah. Okay. So the long mandala you can see in your screen. Om Benzar Bome Ao She Yonson Dap Wanje Zerje Sa Shi Om Benzar Ahon Chen Chare Koryogi Kurve Uso Hon Renjal Bore Rai Sharan Babo Flon Zamboling Noam balai je shan dramenye le na le ba ayanda ayav shen yoden da lam chondro dramenye je da rembo je deo pa sanje she denje ye ba mame ba ye loto kolorembo je dorbo Lembo Remboje, Lambo Remboje, Tanjo Remboje, Mobe Remboje, Tere Jemboye, Bumba, Jebai Ma, Chingwa Ma, Luma, Parema, Ledoma, Dube Ma, Nonzama, Tijama, Nyema, Dawa, Rimboje, Dunjole, Number, Javi, Janse, Ladami, Panjara, Pinsonzo, Manzawa, Mebandini, Zawadan, Jibri, Chipi, Patin, Lama, Tambana, Idam Javi, Chingurji, Lazo, Sanje, Dan, Chanchu, Zembe, Sodan, Chibana, Boanje, Tunje, Doyen, Dendo, Jesus, Shene, Chinje, Laudo, So, Sashi, Peche, Chushin, Meto, Lenje, Niden, Jembandi, Sanje, Shindu, Midem, Boa, Drugananda, Tam, Guru, Ratnamenda, Punja Mega Samo Sabarana Sama Ahum. So we can repeat this a little bit. Now go to the page number 8, the first stanza. Praise to Buddha Shakyamuni, page number 8. Recite a couple of times this first stanza. Tawge tuje shaje rezo chon shenje metun duje ponjom ba serje lembo taburanji beko shaje jabo chanza lo tawge tuje shaje rezo chon shenje metun duje ponjom serje lembo taburanji beko shaje jabo chala chanza lo shage tuje Shajiri Zodron, Shenji Metun Diji Ponjom, Serji Lembo Taburan Jibi Go, Shaji Galbo Chal, Chanzalo, Tage Tuje, Shajiri Zodron, Shenji Metun Diji Ponjom, Serji Lembo Taburan Jibi Go, Shaji Galbo Chala, Chanzalo, Tage Tuje, Shajiri Zodron, Shenji meto dije ponjomba serje lembo taburanji bek chaji jalbo jela janzalo tabke tuje shaji riso Shenji meto dije ponjomba serje lembo taburanji bek chaji jalbo jela janzalo tabke tuje shaji riso Shenji medu diji ponjom, serji lembo tabrunji bego, shaji jalbo chalach, lo tabgen tuje shaji riso chon, shenji medu diji ponjom, serji lembo tabrunji bego, shaji jalbo chalach, chanza lo tabgen tuje shaji riso Shenji metu diji punjomba, Sirji limbo tapuru jibi ko, Shaji gyalpo chal, Shanzalo, Shanzi duji, Shaji rizo chon, Shenji metu diji punjomba, Sirji limbo tapuru jibi ko, Shaji gyalpo chala, Shanzalo, Tabge tuje, Shaji rizo Shenji metu diji punjom, Sirji limbo tabru jibi go, Shaji gyalpo chala chibal, Tabgen tuji shaji rizu chon, Shenji metu diji punjom, Sirji limbo tabru jibi go, Shaji gyalpo chala chansalo, Tabge tuji shaji rizu Shinji metu diji punjomba, Sirji limbo tapuru jibi ku, Shaji gyalpo chala chansalo, Tabge duji shaji rizu chun, Shinji metu diji punjom, Sirji limbo tapuru jibi ku, Shaji gyalpo chala chansalo, Tabge duji Shaji rizu chun, Shinji metu diji punjomba, Sirji limbo tapuru jibi, Shaji gyalbo chala chansalo, Tabge tuji shaji rizu, Shinji metu diji punjom, Sirji limbo tapuru jibi go, Shaji gyalbo chala chansalo, Tabge tuji shaji rizu, Shenji metu diji punjom, Sirji limbo tabru jibi gur, Jala janza lo, Tabgen tuji shajir, Kunjomba, Sirji limbo tabru jibi gur, Shaji jabu chal, Janza lo, Shajgen tuji shajir zutun, Shenji Duje punjomba, Sirji limbo tapuru jibi go, Jabun chala chanzalo, Shabge tuje shaji rizo chon, Medun duje punjomba, Sirji limbo tapuru jibi go, Shaji jabu chala chanzalo, Shabge tuje shaji rizo, Shinji medun duje punjomba, Sirji limbo tabru jibi go, Yalbo chala chansalo. So, I will like to explain a little bit about this ceremony, that occasion. Today is the day that memory, remembering that this is the final day of performing or the displaying miracle by Shakyamuni Buddha. And normally, and this is not the only thing that he performed or displayed the miracle, but this one, why people are remembered, because this moment is kind of like a become a very obvious one to the everyone. Almost at that moment, there was kind of like a, we can say approximately 1 million audience. And then Buddha also blessed it to all those 1 million audience to able to perceive directly his displaying miracle performance. That's the why this occasion is remembered as a very auspicious in a Buddhist, and many other reasons too, because this is the moment that Buddha Dharma was firmly rooted in this world and spread it, began to spread it very widely. That's why, and this occasion is especially kind of like remembered and celebrating as a memory of displaying Shakyamuni Buddha's the miracle performance. As I said earlier, not only these 15 days Shakyamuni Buddha performed miracle, actually, there are many other occasions as well. But this particularly why we specially memorize is because of it has many things involved in this occasion. So this occasion, so right now it's considering Buddha passed away and entered into parinirvana 2565 years ago, according to the Tibetan calculation. And there could be many other traditional calculation as well. But here is 2565 years today that Buddha passed away and entered into parinirvana. And then this particular occasion was happened during his lifetime. I think it is very in the middle of his lifetime, like approximately we can predict like around 40 to 50 years of his own when he was in life in India. At that time, this occasion was happened. So almost it had been like this occasion that we need to go back almost 2600 or 600 and a little bit early maybe. And this occasion was happened. And during this time that actually this month we call in Tibetan the medical month. So we believe that whatever we do, the positive activity or negative activities can be multiplied into 100,000 times. So therefore it is considering very important month to engage oneself into positive activity as much as we could, and such kind of like paying homage, prostration, circumambulation, meditating, and reciting Shakyamuni Buddha's mantra and any kind of mantras, and kind of like offering flowers and offering food to the others and to the Sangha members and to the monks. And this kind of various way, there are various ways that we can involve into meritorious activity or the positive activities. So this month is, we consider normally that we should do as our best, and which can multiply it 100,000 times each of this our merit. So therefore that normally, yes, absolutely, generally we should do it, but particularly this month we especially kind of like focusing on it. And then on the other hand, try to avoid engaging into negative activities as much as one could, but also absolutely as much as we could, we should try. So this is something we should try within this our month. And during this month that actually Shakyamuni Buddha, each day he performed this great or he displayed this great miracle performance, which directly perceived by this almost million audience. So this is something why it is not to say that, oh, there are about million audience there, so this is something. It is why we saying all this number is that history become so genuine and authentic and honest, because there is a millions of audience has a witness for this occasion. That's why we are saying this number. It is not because to something, oh, because to make a Shakyamuni Buddha big or make a something like a show off that these numbers are kind of like a saying, particularly in this history, also numbers are saying with this king and such like a 80,000 people came together. And with that king and another 7,700, kind of like a, what to say, 70, kind of like a, how to say, 70,000 people came together. And with these people, why? This all has a very kind of like a proving as a witness that this occasion was actually happened, not a fiction, not a some sort of like a just story. It was really happened. There was a millions audience has a witness to prove that this is something not fiction, and this is not something story, just a story telling baby, deceiving baby's story. It is not like that. Because this all miracle, when we talk one by one, it is something beyond our concept. When we talk about this all miracle which he performs, and this is, if there's a no witness, this becomes very fiction. How it is possible according to our concept, right? So we normally, most of the time, we judge based on our own concept, that if it is perceivable, we believe. If it is beyond our concept, and we neglect. That's the what we do normally. So in order to avoid these kind of things to happen, and in order to root it very firmly and spread it out, this Buddha Dharma, and for this purpose, and then that Shakyamuni Buddha kind of like a, this is his trick, that he gathered this kind of people, this many audience. He did trick here in this history, tells very clearly he tricked it. Otherwise, how he can gather that much audience as a witness for this occasion? So that's why these numbers are, we are proudly saying, it is not just to show off, or it is not just to make up. It is why this audience number are kind of like a describing very detailedly. It is because to prove, and this is something really happened. That's why. Anyway, and then, so what kind of something like this display, that he displayed this medical performance, and then this each day from day one, this month, lunar month, like according to this lunar month, from first day to 15th day, and each day he performed different miracles, and each of these miracles are something like a unimaginable, some sort of like a if I tell this all one by one according to this book history which tell us, and it may take very long, so I will choose 3 days from this 15 days. So I will choose the first day, and then the 8th day, and then the last 15th day, that within these 3 days, what kind of miracle that he performed. In first day, in this first day that Shakyamuni Buddha performed this miracle, that this day, it was organized by King Saljal. There were 6 kings as a witness, and 6 kings with his people, with his kind of like a how to say, entourage, yeah, and 6 different regions, kings are also there as a witness. So the first day was sponsored. It is like a sponsored by King Sajar. That this competition between the non-Buddhist 6 teachers and Shakyamuni Buddhas wants to compete the performing miracles and was sponsored by King Sajar. He was the organizer. The King Sajar organized. The organizer means what was his responsible is to make sure that clean the place and put the seat and the throne and everybody to sit, and then to offer the things, and then let them kind of like a challenge each other. Kind of like a referee. Anyway, so he was the sponsor, and he was the organizer for the first day. This first day, and after he organized everything, settled down, and the put all the cushions and thrones and everything, and then those Shakyamuni Buddhas and those 6 non-Buddhist teachers, all of them came, and then they seated in their own place, and then they have kind of like a meals. He sponsored. And then right after finishing the meals, and the Shakyamuni Buddha using this toothpick. This toothpick is not really modern, huh? Since then, they are using toothpick after lunch, after meal. And Shakyamuni Buddha was using his toothpick to clean his teeth. And then this toothpick, he put it right front of his ground, that when he put this toothpick in his ground, that immediately from this toothpick, very toothpick, grow this tree, and with that kind of like a rooted and tongue and branches and leaves, flower and fruition, whole immediately completed and grow as a very huge, in this history explaining the size, the height and the width is something very beyond. It is beyond our ordinary concept. How this toothpick, and even though in the toothpick have a seed, let's say there are some seed hidden in a toothpick, but how it can be grow at the same day, like that. So it is this kind of miracle that was proved and witnessed by this million audience that is happened. But if there's no those kind of like big numbers and those big witness like referees, then nowadays maybe we will say, oh, this is just makeup. But until now, no one can say this was made up, because it has a very strong witness, strong referee. That's why. So the size of the tree is like it is saying like a pakche ngabja in Tibetan calculation, like a mile. It is all the kind of like a kilometer and mile. In according to Tibetan, we measure as a pakche. Pakche is actually like this one, what do you call it? One arm, huh? Yeah, in arms, 5, huh? Spread, arm spread. 500 arm spread is 1 pakche. So that's how we measured, right? A little bit different than miles, and maybe similar as a mile. Kilometer is just like this, right? And kind of like a bending this hand. And mile is almost, I think, arm spread it. 1,000 arm spread is a mile, and 1,000 meter is a kilometer. Anyway, so the arm spread, 500 arm spread is counted as a pakse. So 500 pakse growed. Now, can you imagine? So the 500, how to say, pakse growth and white and what to say, length and white, tall, yeah, tall. And then immediately also has a lot of fruits. And then this people, whoever even smell that trees, it is kind of like a gives them like a very satisfaction feeling, very joy, pleasant feeling. And then right after that, Shakyamuni Buddha start teaching. After performing this miracles, then he taught. In this very day when he start teaching, and it convinced like many people among the audience that they made change their life in very that day. They made this commitment. Okay, so from now on, I will definitely try my best to follow his guideline that which he guided today to us. Like that kind of commitment. Many people changed their lifestyle among the audience. That was happened in first day. And then the second day, okay, now we skip second day, third day, fourth day, fifth day, sixth day, seventh day. Now we jump to the eighth day. What happened in the eighth day? So the eighth day was actually sponsored, that the organized by Indra. Actually, it was not the human, it was God. God Indra sponsored this eighth day. And then Indra himself invited Shakyamuni Buddha, and then he kind of like made it this lion throne for Shakyamuni Buddha to sit. And then this Indra and his all, what do you call it, retinue, offered the meals and everything. And after that, after complete having all this meal, and Shakyamuni Buddha, that he kind of like a how to say, hid it. He hid in this lion throne. That when he hid his own lion throne, and this from this his lion throne, the noise, the sound, the noise happened like this elephant, very kind of like how to say, big noise made out of elephant sound was happened from this his throne. And immediately after that, from his lion throne, there were very huge 5 creature emanated from his throne. And then the what do you call that king, the Indra also organized, he was organized it. So he also put it that they are another throne for those 6 non-Buddhist teachers, that they were competing, right? And then this 5 huge creature break down all their leg of the throne. This was something like very strange, isn't it? Put them down, not too high. Anyway, and then also that Vajrapani was manifested as a very wrathful, with the kind of like a Vajra, and from the tip of the Vajra, the fire is blazing, and then kind of like a how to say, scaring those 6 non-Buddhist teachers. And at that time, these six is very scared and run away from this field. At that time, I think uh, one or two of them was passed away, that because they ran out and then jump into the river because they scared, and one or two was passed away at that day, unfortunate. And and then later, right at the moment, at that day, that his story is saying 90,000 follower of this sixth non-Buddhist teacher was converted. And this converted, it's not something like converted like forcefully, that it was kind of like they wants to change their religions and they wanna follow this Buddha Shakyamuni's guideline. And that really day, Shakyamuni Buddha made this non-Buddhist, 90,000 non-Buddhist, their follower as a bhikshu. And then also taught, and then how to say, that this, it looks like this, these 90,000 non-Buddhist kind of like achieve liberation at that really same day, become like a arahat. So that kind of miracle that happened in the 8th day. And then now we go 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, skip, and then now jump to the 15. Now 15 is considering today, right? In 15th day, what was happened at that time? The 15th day was organized by his own friend, King, the Sukchen Nyingbo. He was the sponsor, that 15th day. And that was the, what do you call it, Rajgiri king, that near Bodh Gaya, there's a Rajgir. And that the Kyabu Sukchen Nyingbo was from there. And that was actually his friend too, Shakyamuni Buddha. They know each other even before that Buddha Shakyamuni became Buddha. When he was prince, staying in a palace, since then they know each other. And later, this king became his follower. And anyway, so they have very close tie relationship. And the final day was sponsored by him. Maybe he didn't spend much. Maybe it looks like maybe King does not, Shakyamuni Buddha doesn't want his friend to spend much, much money. Because at that day, what happened was that Shakyamuni Buddha performed miracle that none of the meals have to prepare. Just when people all gathered, all the meals are automatically appeared to everyone to fit. And I'm just joking, okay? But it looks like very much, isn't it? This king was his friend, and when his friend organizing, he doesn't have to spend and he doesn't have to do so much. This I'm just making joke. Anyway, so that day, kind of like the last day, that meals was just, he performed miracle to feed everyone. And then after that meal, and what the miracle actually he performed in this today. Now this is today that we're considering. If we go back like almost 2,600 years back, right? imagine this was today. That what miracle he performed was he made all this audience to able to see the hell beings. At that time, it was Simchen Yawa Chujeda, Simchen Tsimebani Dungal Nyungwada. That when Shakyamuni Buddha hit on his hand in the earth, on the land, and these 18 types of hell are there, right? So the 18, within a hell, there was a 18 kind of like a realm. So all these 18 realms of the hell beings who are suffering and how they are suffering, and unfathomable of unmeasurable or unfathomable of those hell beings was show up to all this audience, and then also show off that how they are experiencing the suffering. And because of this, all million audience perceive that by their direct perception. And then this all hell beings describing, each of them describing very detailedly that why each of them experiencing this way. And they're saying, each of them describing, I did such and such, this negative activities, I committed, I accumulated. That's why I become like this. And that miracle itself become teaching for this million audience. And that itself become teaching, and itself, it's very, I think like looks like a better than talking. Something you seeing by your direct eye. So there's a nothing to neglect, nothing to reject. There's just like a Milarepa. There's a history. Okay, I'm just going to the site, Milarepa, that when Marpa showed this mandala of kind of like, I think, Kedurji's empowerment, when Marpa is giving this empowerment to him. And Marpa showed this mandala emanating from his heart in front of Milarepa. And then Marpa asked, did you see it? You believe it? And Milarepa answered, I saw it, and there's a nothing to not to believe it. I have no option to not to believe it. It is just like that, right? And this, like, I think that kind of things could become even greater than teaching verbally. That when we saw by ourselves, like how these hell beings are suffering, and then why. We also finding the reason, not just suffering. If we just seeing the suffering, it's terrible. It doesn't help anything. But they describing, when they're describing why they are experiencing, that helps. That shows the skip quote. For this, that show us the how to skip, how to avoid. That's really helpful when they're describing the reason why they're experiencing this way. And that kind of miracle that he performed. And then at that really day, it is also said, this all hell beings was freed from hell, and then born, some of them born into the God, some of them born into the human. And then from human and God to liberate, that's their responsible. That day, they got this opportunity, like a jackpot, like a jackpot. And and then after Shakyamuni Buddha start teaching to all of them, including this all-held being. And then after this miracle finish, and then this his friend King Sukchen Yingbo asked, normally everybody can see those measure marks. Most of your measure marks we can see, like a crown and eye, everything very obvious, right? When you see Shakyamuni Buddha, you see many of his measure marks. And then his friend King Sukchen Yingbo, he said, but it is very difficult to see one of your measure mark, which is underneath your feet. Please, can you show us that measure marks? And then Shakyamuni Buddha showed it. I don't know how he showed it. He had to put his feet up here to see everybody like this. I don't know how he did it. He did it seated on the throne and then put his feet up. I'm just teasing. Anyway, so he showed his feet to all this audience. Everybody see it, this will, kind of like in his how to say, soul, in his soul. So again, don't ever imagine as how we draw in a tangas, like a golden wheel is sticked it in his feet. It's not like that, okay? It is just like how we have normally the drawing lines, just like that. But all these lines are in a shape of will. That's it. That's how you should imagine, okay? Don't imagine this, there's a golden wheel on his stick on his soul. But normally in a Thanga, when we write that, to make it obvious, we write with the golden, right? Golden. So, and then he showed that, and when he showed that, everybody feels so amazed. Is it amazing? Actually, yeah, it is very unique, right? Now he's showing his talent, I think. This is the time for showing talent. Since they asked it actually. This is very long history. And then after that, everybody kind of like amazed, and everybody raised question that why you have this will line in your soul. People become curious. And then he answered again. Now this is long history, very long history. And the short answer that he answered is that he's saying, why I have this will in my soul, it because I myself engage into this 10 virtuous activity, and as well as I encourage others to do so. That's why I have this will. So now it is, isn't it? It is very clear. And it is possible for everyone. Because he described why he has it, the reason. And that reason, every being in a general, but every being is difficult. But particular human being has a more opportunity about learn about this and then try to engage or implement. So I will try to shrink the history. And then later again, he explained very long that how you did yourself and how you encourage others to do so. And then he's also going back to his life history. Oh, very long. At such and such time, that time, there was one king, that was him. And then he himself did this way, and he encouraged others to do that way. That's how. That history itself is also very interesting, actually. But because of time now, I think. But I made it point, I think. So that's how these miracles in this 15th day, which is considering today, if we go back like 2,600 years, and this was happened today, that he let everybody to have all these meals, came out from the middle of the nowhere. That is now really middle of the nowhere. And feeded all of them. And then also he performed the miracle to able to see all those hell beings. And then people, humans and hell beings, let them communicate to share their experience. And that is one great miracle he performed. And then after that, he taught the teaching related with his will, the soul. And that's what he taught. And then each of this day, he convinced many people to change their lifestyle. And that's how this Buddha Dharma was so well spreaded and rooted so firmly in this occasion. That's why this occasion is considering as a very one great ceremony, victory for Buddha himself and generally to the Buddhist. And then why he performed all this, then going back to the history again. And this also has a very long history, and the story is very much related with his friend King Suchen Yingbo, that 15-day sponsor. In Rajgiri, when he was reside there, Shakyamuni Buddha, with the 2,500 monks. At that time, this king, his friend Suchen Yingbo, was his follower, but his brother is non-Buddhist. His brother is follower of these 6 non-Buddhist teachers. And then this king, his king friend Suchen Yingbo, wants his brothers to have some understanding about Buddha's Dharma teachings, but he rejecting. And he's saying, I have my own teacher. I can follow my own teacher. Why I have to follow Buddha? He's not everything. That kind of argument between them is going there. And then it's still king insisting his brothers to do something. And finally, that his brother said, okay, I cannot really reject the king order. Okay, today I will just do it like offering meals. I will prepare, I will do the sponsor to offering the meals. Whoever comes, I will offer. Whoever don't, that's their own responsible. He kind of like a very careless sponsor. Not really well organized sponsor. But he immediately, he sent his people to invite those 6 non-Buddhist teachers. And then he didn't send any invitation to Buddhas and his follower monks. And then king again insisting his brother. And then he said, at the last, at least if you are unable to go there, can you please just send someone Normally, Buddha doesn't come without invitations anywhere. So if you don't invite, they will never come. So can you please just send someone, just message. And then he did it because of his brother. And then Buddhas and everybody came. And during that time, also Buddha performed many different miracles here and there. Such a very, like, in a one way, very tricky things, very funny things happened. And finally, if I try to conclude, so at that time, this six non-Buddhist teachers kind of like even, okay, let's say, make it point like it. Even this, his brother, the King Sujeng Yimbo's brother, at that day, he was convinced. He changed his religion after Buddha came to him and when Buddha teach. And this kind of things, many things happens. That's why this sixth non-Buddhist teacher was so mad and they wanna challenge. That's how they demanded Shakyamuni Buddha to challenge the performing miracles. That's how it ended up performing miracles. Actually, detail, there are a lot of story there, how it happens detailedly. So this is the day today anyway. So the in bottom line, so that miracle is something normally we call Michue Lama. Michue Lama means supreme phenomena of human, isn't it? Every human become amazed when somebody performing miracles. That's why miracle, to the miracle, we used to say supreme phenomena of human. Isn't it interesting name? Another name for the miracle. So Shakyamuni Buddha performing each miracle, after each miracle, the mainly his teaching. Through his teaching, many people changed their lifestyle. Miracle makes them believe, and teaching guides their life. So that's how this kind of like a Buddha Dharma was rooted firmly in this occasion and spread it out well. From in India, actually, this is particularly in India. And then whole India kind of like become propagating about Buddha Dharma since then. Until that, yes, Buddha teaching, but not really many followers. And then because of this today occasion happened, that's why this Dharma is still alive. That's why we should remember why today still this Dharma is alive. Because many reasons, but one is this occasion. That's why we should remember these kind of like memories, remembering those special days. And there were many other his life activities. And today's this life, within his life, today is this day that he made it this Buddha Dharma well spreaded and rooted firmly. This is the day. And then relating with this day, we try to remember him and his quality and what he contributed to all the beings. With that, we also trying to remember him and try to offer our best. Then in offer, what we can offer is our own body and our own belongings and our own all this intelligence. These are the three things that we can offer. So today that we offering our body to serve him and all belongings to please him and intelligent, I don't know. We also, but anyway, regardless he want it or not, we just offer. So thank you. Maybe I should stop here now. Time is over. Okay, so now go to the page 54. Page 54. Noi deje seje kunje tuje ta zeba melan kenze nebe lame yeje junju chinda wan denda konan da jurwai shu sunam de tanje seba nyen tomne nyebe da Walon to buy Sibe Tole Dobe Doa Sho Rinjeng Shadam Mendashe Rajen Denyen Zoba Taje Chungan Dobe Jiden Zebasho Sanje Tajin Jebarasho Semjen Tamje Dejin Jebar Nyendan Sendu Chala Chabarasho Rajen Tenye Lenje Chubarasho Pende Jungwe Neje Temba Yure Neba Dan Temba Zembe Shebo Nam Kotse Jansen Tenjuraji Walden Lame Kotse Temba Na Kanyam Yongla Deki Shongwa Taje Male Tsoza Divjan Yurdo Sanje Sala Gabarasho Lama Kongam Sawar Sawat Chodo Kutse Rimwa Sawane Chene Lama Dandawa Memba Shinje Lo Tadanta Joa Malika Kiwi Sawat Dela Tene Sera Lejendi Yonjane Sayan Chunzilon Joy Shu Tashi Pende June Nanjale June Chudra Gende Dena Yinzen Dugan Noye Majishin Saden Chela Chepe Tashi Shu Tashi Sazum Jejon Sumin Dendo Jin Tejen Dembe Mada Payovi Temba Tajin Jebe Tashi Shu Nanda Temba Tarwa Payok Jave Nando Jamba Kajishin Deze Janchu Landen Tetechi Chulen Denyin Sindara Denjo Inchi Nanda Rezo Hangan Chuge Kudaya Shiro Bhambalemba Sazan Anju Chimbe Nyamne Yermen Tuji Tile Roji Shu Chewa Kundo Yanda Laman Damen Chiji Pala Longshiji Sadan Lamje Yende Razon Palden Lamin Goban Yundu Shu Om Ben Zrasadu Samaya Manambala Yamda Sadu Denamba Tirandito Membawa Sudoka Membawa Norudu Membawa Sukoka Sarva Siddhime Praya Sarva Karma Siddhame Siddham Shireyam Kuru Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sarva Tata Gatharitaya Benzer Mamem Benzer Bhava Ma Samaya Satu Okay, thank you everyone and sleep well. And tomorrow, yeah, just to remind you, tomorrow is the last day of our teaching, the establishing, appearing as the divine. So final day. Tomorrow we will finish. So we'll gather at 10 a.m. So till then, take care.
Thank you, Tukula.
Oh, you're welcome. Good night.
Good night.